of your testimony, your opening statements, which were incredibly powerful, and I am grateful that you're here and willing to share your experiences with all of us. I want to follow Mr. Rascon and ask you more about your experience. One of my Minnesota colleagues sent a clip recently of a woman filming an ICE vehicle from her car. The ICE vehicle stopped. The agents got out, guns drawn, pointing three ICE agents pointing guns at her through the windshield. She could have easily been killed. And if you're willing to share a little more about your experience, what was that like, being in a vehicle, encountering that kind of threat of and use of force by agents? What is that like? What should people understand about what goes through your mind at a time like that?
It felt like we were about to be attacked for no apparent reason by, it seemed like nobody, no law enforcement that was legit. Just seemed like masked individuals with crazy head power. Once they had broken the windows and my father-in-law bravely drove away, and the shots fired into the vehicle, I just thought that one of us would have been killed. But thankfully we're all okay, and I'm sorry to the victims that didn't survive.
And what's it like when you drive now? What are the after effects of experiencing that now when you're out in the community? What impact has it had on you and your family?
I feel like my head is on the swivel, always looking everywhere to make sure that nobody's gonna attack us without us being aware of it, or anybody else in our community.
Now, I know they made accusations against your family. Did they ever bring charges? Did they drop charges? What was the status of that?
They claimed that we had ran them over, and the judicial judge had watched the video and evidence, and there was no evidence that we did anything to them, and so they dropped the charges.
And how long was it after you were arrested before they dropped the charges?
My father-in-law was arrested 2 weeks after the first incident.
And how soon thereafter were the charges dropped? Do you remember?
I would say about a week or two later, maybe two to 3 weeks later.
Anyone ever apologized to you for what's happened to your family?
Just our loved ones, not the people who were the cause of it.
And Ms. Rahman, how about you? Anyone ever express any kind of remorse for slamming you to the ground, for not getting medical treatment for you, for what you had to endure?
Nope.
Senator Padilla and I were recently at one of the large detention facilities in California, and we asked about medical treatment there, and people who were diabetic weren't getting the medicine they needed. You didn't get any kind of medical assistance. How long were you in custody?
I have not been provided information about that from DHS. I know that the timestamp of my arrival at the emergency room was after 1 o'clock. I know that I was on a trip to the doctor's just after 9:35, and I know that we asked for medical assistance at 11 a.m. So an hour and 47 minutes later, I was brought into the ER unconscious.
And Ms. Martinez, similar question to you. Anyone ever apologize for how your family was treated, how you were treated?
What's the question?
Has anyone ever apologized to you for how you were treated?
No, nobody. Till this day, no apology.
And what is it, may I ask one last question, Mr. Chairman? What is the impact on, you testified earlier about how this has impacted your view of all law enforcement, which you had venerated before now because you thought they were there to protect the community. Has there been a spillover effect to how much trust do you think people in your neighborhood have for law enforcement Or are people able to separate out ICE from the local police department or others?
It's scary because when I was at the hospital, there was like FBI agents and ICE agents, and I didn't know. I was scared to even talk to both of them because I was like, I don't know if they're working together. So it's scary, right? Like people don't even know who to trust no more. They don't know if they should talk to police no more. So it's really concerning what's happening, and I don't want that to happen. But it's the reality what's happening.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator. Next up is Representative Kassar.
Americans know that ICE agents shot Renee Good, but you should know what happened next. The ICE agents did not render first aid. They left Renee to bleed. Then a doctor approached the scene and he wanted to help. The doctor shouted, "Stop the bleeding." Instead, for 3 minutes and 26 seconds, ICE agents held back that doctor that might have been able to save Renee. So for the next 3 minutes and 26 seconds, I want each of us to imagine someone we know and love. And imagine that they are shot, bleeding, suffering, and dying. And silently think about them being denied help for the next 3 minutes and 26 seconds. "Stop the bleeding," the doctor shouted. And for 3 minutes and 26 seconds, ICE did not. Renee still had some pulse when the firefighters arrived, but no breathing. CPR didn't start till 10 minutes after she was shot. It was too late, but it's not too late to prevent this from happening to more people in our country.
Thank you. Senator Hickenlooper.